this is Advanced Math, the C section of Lesson 35. And we have, for a while, been finding the distance between 2 points, and we use the Pythagorean theorem to do that. And we want to develop a general formula, a general pattern for how to do that. So I'm just going to pick 2 random points. In fact, I don't even know what these points are. They are, I'm going to make them generic. I have one point, x1, y1, a second point, x2, y2. And I want to know the distance between those 2 points. So I want to know this length right here. And as we've been doing, we form a right triangle. And the distance that we're calculating is the hypotenuse of that triangle. So this is a right triangle. I told you it was because I put that little square right there. So these 2 legs of this triangle are perpendicular. And if we think about this, and I put it inside this quadrant 1, the first quadrant here, just so we can see. So to get to this point, I had to come over to x2. To get to this point, I had to come over to x1. To get to this point, I had to go up to y2, and I had to go up to y1. So everybody take a look at that. That means, if we look at this, we can see that the point of this location right here, the coordinates of that location right there is x1, y2. Alright? So let's think about this for a minute. Pythagorean theorem says this leg squared plus this leg squared together has to equal to the hypotenuse squared. So I need to know what the length of this leg is, and you can see right here, is the distance between our y1 and our y2. And in section B, remember we were talking about whether we're going up or down, would be a positive or a negative. But it's not going to matter so much here because what are we going to do with the length of this leg? We're going to square it, which means whether I have a negative distance direction or a positive direction, it's still going to come out to be positive once I square it. So this length right here is y1 minus y2. You have to think about that for a minute. We're at 2, and this is 4. So 1, 2. So 2 minus 4 gives me negative 2, or 4 minus 2 gives me positive 2. Again, when I square it, it's going to be positive, so it doesn't matter in which direction I do it. And the length here, the other leg, this length, again, is the difference between my x coordinates, x1 minus x2. So this leg and then this leg. Those 2 squared and added together have to give me the hypotenuse squared. So d squared, Pythagorean theorem tells me, is equal to, we're going to start with our x's just because we like to go in order, this distance squared plus this distance squared. Again, any number, whether it's positive or negative, once I square it, it's going to be positive. So that means, if I take the square root of both sides, then d has to be the square root of x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared. And this is known as the distance formula. And the beauty of this, like like with any formula, like the area formula or the quadratic formula, that means that we no longer have to draw the picture in order to find the distance between 2 points. So if I have the points 1, 1 and the point 4, 5, I can find the distance between them simply by saying the square root of 1 minus 4 squared plus 1 minus 5 squared. So D has to be the square root of, that's negative 3 squared plus negative 4 squared. 9 plus 16. So D has to be 5 units. So the distance between these 2 points on our graph, if we drew a picture, we would see the distance to be 5 units. All right, thank you very much.